You are welcome to our video collection. Um, Today, I want us to talk on a topic I've titled You and Your Thoughts. I and My Thoughts. Now, we'll take as our crutch for the day Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Let me read what the King James Version says. It says, Keep thy thoughts, or keep thy heart rather, with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. That's what the King James Version says. And I love the Message Bible translation. He says that keep vigilant over your heart. That is where life starts. Keep vigilant over your heart, for that is where life starts. Now, if you look at that particular verse, keenly, you discover that you are somehow, let's put it that way, separate, or somehow you are the one watching your thoughts. You are watching your thoughts. Therefore, it gives you some power over what you think. We are a field of energy. We're a field of energy. We are energy. We are some kind of a conscious being. And within this field of energy or conscious being, there are desires, which here we are referring to as thoughts. There are desires, numerous, uncountable, indefinite number of desires wanting to be expressed. All right. Now we are the ones now to view or take a good look at those thoughts, observe those thoughts, and give and make a conscious choice or unconscious choice over what kind of ideas or desires are to be expressed. All right. Now, so that is why the Bible says, watch over your thinking, watch over your thoughts, be vigilant. So in a way, we are custodians over our thoughts. All right. Now, so we either make conscious or unconscious decisions as to which of these thoughts will be expressed. For example, in Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7, where it says, as a man thinketh, so is he. Now, it doesn't really mean that whatever thoughts that go through your mind, that's exactly what you are. I think what it really says is that, the kind of thoughts that you choose for their expression are the thoughts that define you. You see, so a man begins to be defined over the kind of choices that he made, the kind of thoughts that he would allow them to be expressed either in his words or in his actions. All right. Now, why am I bringing this topic? It's because so many people are down and self-condemned over their thinking, not knowing that these thoughts are free. They are free to roam about in your mind however they wish, but you are the one to choose what thoughts you give attention to. And the more the kind of thoughts that you give attention to, those are the thoughts that will begin to develop muscles and subsequently or consequently express themselves in your words and actions, and probably a style of life that you choose to live is as a result of the kind of thoughts that you give them attention in your mind. All right. So that makes us that gives us more power now, because we begin to decide what kind of thoughts we will allow for them to express themselves in our life. We now have the power of choice. We all have these conflicting ideas, conflicting desires within our minds. But you are the one to make a conscious choice over what kind of thoughts are expressed in your life. That's why the Bible says, keep vigilant over your heart, over your thoughts, for that is where life begins. So whatever thoughts you choose and give it energy by giving it attention, and dwelling upon it more and more, you are giving it muscle, you are giving it the ability for expression. Amen. So choose your thoughts wisely. Amen. Now, I believe this is why Paul the Apostle wrote in Philippians chapter 4 verse 8. Now he said, finally, brethren, whatsoever things that are true, whatever things that are honest, whatever things that are just, whatever things that are pure, whatever things that are lovely, whatever things that are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. Amen. What did he say? Think on these things, which means that make a conscious decision. Make a conscious decision to allow these thoughts to dwell within you, to develop muscle within you, to develop power, to overtake you, because the more we give attention to these thoughts, the more we allow it to develop within us, and sooner or later they take hold of our subconscious and begin to express themselves in our behavior, in our words, and in everything that concerns us. Amen. Hallelujah. So we can begin to choose to think on healing, to think on well-being, to think on riches, to think on, abundance. We can begin to give these thoughts, the ability to dwell within us and express themselves and take over our entire being and express themselves upon the surface of the earth. This is where we begin to create either our own hell or our own heaven, because the verse clearly tells you this is where life begins. Amen. Amen. So when somebody says you are your thinking, yes, you are the thoughts that you allow for them to express in your life. Amen. So begin to think on healing, begin to think on financial abundance, begin to think on well-being, love, tolerance, and all of these precious supernatural weapons that indwell us. Make them a conscious decision. Make it a conscious decision to dwell in your heaven, in your earth, right here